Toastmaster. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado. Merci beaucoup. So for this icebreaker, I want to focus on a particular period in my life, 2007 actually, which I feel has greatly influenced the person I am today. So let's begin. So I was born December 3rd, 92 in Ventura, born and raised in Ventura. February 93, I was 2 months old. My family and I moved to Dahran, Saudi Arabia. My father worked as a research scientist for King Fahd, University of Petroleum and Minerals. We stayed there until 95. We moved back stateside. When I was 14, I moved to Arequipa, Peru, which is my father's hometown. Then returned back, and I went to go on to graduate from high school in 2011. I have experience in the environmental testing field as well as in the fertilizer production, which I will discuss later on in this talk. And as Lynn mentioned, I am currently pursuing a master's science in plant science. I have a previous biochemistry degree at CSU Channel Islands. So these are just some of the curriculars I've done over the years. My parents were really campaigning for me to have a very active lifestyle as a kid. So these are just some of the sports I did: tennis, jiu-jitsu. This particular picture in the middle was during my senior year in the varsity swim team for Buena. And on the picture on the right, I was about 7 years old, representing for the Green Dragons, the local AOYSO club. So I'm a big sports guy. I try to make an effort to go to a handful of sporting events about on an average year. I enjoy the Galaxy. I enjoy going to Lakers and Clippers games, LA Kings games. I enjoy sports. Now, I want to revisit a critical year that I had just mentioned earlier in this talk. So 2007. Fortunately, during middle school, I was in a rut. I was turning in papers late. I was getting into arguments with my parents. I was performing poorly in tests. So my parents decided to bring a dramatic decision. They're going to send me to Peru, where I was going to live with my paternal grandparents. I hated the idea. We were boarding the going into the plane, flying to Peru, still hated it. Few weeks in Peru, still hated it. I guess the turning point was I was not very fluent in Spanish. Spanish is very intrinsic if you're going to live in a country like Peru or pretty much anywhere in South or Central America. So I had to force myself. To try to talk with the locals, talk with my classmates, talk with anyone. So I enrolled in Juan de la Cruz Calientes. It was a preparatory school that was fairly close to where I was living. And within about 2 or 3 months of enrollment, I was able to have deep conversations with my classmates and teachers alike. I did a lot of things while I was there. I took a cooking class, I did a drawing class, I was in choir. I did a lot of extracurriculars, basketball, swimming, you name it, I did it all. And of course, last but not least, as I had already shown, I had gained fluency in Spanish. So coming back stateside, went on to finish high school 2011. It was during my junior year in high school. My father was the lab manager at the time. He's pictured with me. He offered me a job called Capco Analytical. It's a small environmental testing lab in Ventura. And I started off just washing glassware, filing papers, pretty mundane stuff. But within a matter of time, I started to learn the instruments that I used. I learned to talk with people with different backgrounds, my colleagues and clients. So one big lesson that I learned was learning to discuss complex terms in a very simple manner. In this case, I was talking a lot about environmental agricultural stuff. So I worked there from 2010 to September 2016. I transferred over to JH Baltic, which is the sister company of Capital. That particular job was more research-based, where I focused more on the fertilizer production. I also attended a few hydroponic shows. It was a worthwhile experience. I only worked there till September 2017 to enroll full-time at Cal Poly Pomona. So, why Toastmasters? Self-improvement. Personal growth, self-confidence are just one of the few values that are intrinsic for Toastmasters. I learned about it just from having some tea at a local coffee shop. And then also an old colleague of mine told me about Toastmasters. So I went to a chapter in Ventura, Club 24, and I spent time with them for about 8 months. And now I'm here. It's a new chapter in my Toastmasters resume. The community, always a sense of community. It was tough saying goodbye to everyone there, but in the end, I gained a new community. Education. So with that, I leave you with a quote. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.